Have you ever felt like you're stuck in a conversation with your past, replaying moments you can't change? Maybe it's that time you chose the wrong words, walked away when you should have stayed, or missed an opportunity you can never get back. Regret has a way of creeping in, holding us hostage, whispering, "What if you had done things differently?" It's exhausting, isn't it? That endless back and forth with yourself, as though revisiting the past could somehow fix it. But here's a thought. What if regret isn't your enemy? What if it's trying to show you something important, something about your values, your desires, even your potential for growth? Regret can feel like a shadow that never leaves, pulling you back into moments you can't change. But what if you could turn regret into a tool for personal growth? Stay with me as I share 5 transformative steps to help you move past regret and embrace a brighter future. Let's start by looking at what regret really is. Regret is like carrying an invisible weight. It reminds you of choices you wish you'd made differently. But regret isn't your enemy. It's a reflection of your values, a nudge to realign your actions with the person you want to become. Regret isn't just about wishing you'd done something differently. It's a reflection of what you hold dear. It surfaces when your actions don't align with your inner compass. Think about it. When was the last time you regretted something? Wasn't it tied to something important to you, like a relationship, an opportunity, or a personal value? But here's the catch. Regret doesn't just remind us of what matters. If left unchecked, it can become a heavy chain, keeping us tethered to what we can't change. And yet, regret has a purpose. It's not here to punish you. It's here to wake you up. It's a reminder that even in your mistakes, there's a chance to rebuild, to choose differently, and to grow. Now that we understand what regret really is, not just a burden but a mirror of our values, how do we move forward? Let's dive into 5 powerful steps to transform regret into growth. When regret feels overwhelming, it's easy to let it define you. But what if, instead of seeing it as proof you failed, you saw it as a spotlight, illuminating the gaps between where you are and where you want to be? For example, maybe you regret not taking a risk that could have changed your life. That regret isn't here to shame you. It's shining a light on your desire for courage and growth. Or perhaps you regret how you handled a situation with someone you care about. That feeling points to the fact that connection is important to you. Regret isn't a verdict. It's an invitation. When you stop fighting it and start paying attention to what it's trying to show you, you take back your power. As Maya Angelou beautifully put it, "I did then what I knew how to do. Now that I know better, I do better." By owning our actions, we regain control and take the first step toward freedom from regret. Now, once you've acknowledged what regret is trying to teach you, the next step is to take action. And sometimes that starts with making amends. Regret often carries a ripple effect. It doesn't just affect us, it touches the lives of those around us. But here's the beauty in that. Regret also gives us the chance to heal and strengthen those connections. Think about a time when regret stemmed from how you treated someone else. Maybe you snapped at a loved one or missed an important moment in their life. Reaching out with sincerity can not only ease your regret, but deepen your bond. It's not about erasing what happened, it's about showing that you're willing to grow from it. Imagine telling someone, "I've been thinking about how I acted and I want to apologize. I value our relationship and I regret how I handled things." Those words, paired with actions, can rebuild trust and create something stronger than before. As Dr. Harriet Lerner said, "The willingness to apologize and take responsibility is one of the greatest signs of strength." And that willingness leads us to the next step, letting go of what's beyond your control. Here's the hard truth about regret. Not all of it is yours to carry. Sometimes we blame ourselves for things we couldn't control, or we hold ourselves to impossible standards. This kind of regret can weigh us down unnecessarily, keeping us from focusing on what truly matters. Take a moment to ask yourself, is this regret helping me grow, or is it just keeping me stuck? For instance, you might regret not being able to attend every family event or meet everyone's expectations, but that doesn't mean you failed. Life is messy and perfection is a myth. Brene Brown said, "We can't be brave if we're wearing the armor of guilt and shame." By releasing regret that doesn't serve you, you free yourself to focus on the things that truly do. And with that freedom, you can start taking meaningful steps forward. Regret isn't just about the past, it's also about the future. It's easy to get caught up in what you didn't do do. But what if you focused on what you can do now? Regret doesn't have to be a full stop, it can be a starting point. For example, if you regret not pursuing a passion, take one small step today. Sign up for that class, reach out to that mentor, or even just sketch out your goals. Regret might remind you of what you've missed, but it also opens the door to what's still possible. John Kabat-Zinn puts it perfectly. You can't stop the waves, but you can learn to surf. Regret will come and go, but it's your response to it that shapes your future. And finally, the most important step, forgiving yourself. Forgiveness isn't about forgetting what happened, it's about choosing to move forward. Once you've taken responsibility, made amends, and started taking action, it's time to let go. Self-forgiveness doesn't erase the past, but it does free you from letting it control your future. Think of it this way: regret is like a book you've been carrying around. Self-forgiveness is the act of closing that book and starting a new chapter. You'll always remember what you've learned, but it no longer defines who you are. As Beverly Engels says, self-forgiveness is a sign of self-respect. When you forgive yourself, you acknowledge that you're human, that you're growing, and that you're worthy of moving on. Forgiving yourself is not excusing the past, it's reclaiming your power to shape your future. So, if regret has been weighing you down, take heart. By shifting your perspective, making amends, letting go of what's out of your control, taking action, and practicing self-forgiveness, you can transform regret into something powerful. Regret doesn't have to control your life. By taking responsibility, making amends, releasing unnecessary guilt, embracing the present, and practicing self-compassion, you can transform regret into growth. Remember, your past choices don't define you. How you move forward does. Regret isn't here to hold you back. It's here to remind you of what's possible. Every moment of regret carries a lesson, an opportunity, and a chance to rewrite your story. What will you do with yours? Let's take that first step together.